Hi, in today's video we're going to be talking about plans or technical drawings for model airplanes or RC airplanes in general. Plans look something like this, and they have all the information we need to build our machine, in this case model airplanes. Here we can see some horizontal stabilizer, some airfoils, and more information that we will need for the build process. And all this technical data that we see here and components are really important in the building process. So plans are a really important step because we get our design from an idea to a reality. So they are the medium for that. These are the master templates of the machine. So this is a very important thing. That's why I'm going to share everything I know about plans, although it might not be that much, or there might be some errors or things that you might say, no, that's not right. So just feel free to comment that below. I don't have any issue with that. But because I'm going to share everything I know about plans and some techniques that you might find helpful, this is going to be a series of videos. So I'm going to make 3 different videos maybe. So you will find all the other videos in the description below, or maybe in the recommendation area over there. So let's start with the basics, where you can find plans. So plans are nowadays easy to find online. You can buy even plans online, so you can print them, or you can even order already printed plans to start building your own airplanes. So the most popular place you can find plans is online, because you can just download them and take a look. If you like them, then you can print them. Most of the times you will find plans for free, because you can find them on websites or like Facebook groups even, where they share these plans. The most popular format to share plans is PDF, because it retains the information of the size of the plan, so they are ready to print, so you can send them somewhere to print them for you. But plans are really cheap to print because they're just black and white most of the time, but some people will charge you just a bit more to print a color plans, as long as they are just plans and not large images. But yeah, plans like this is an A1 maybe, and plans like this cost about $3 or $4. That depends on the place or the city you live in. So they're not very difficult to print. And if you have a plotter at home, that it's even better. But most of the people don't have a plotter. Another option is that you can print tiles. So you can print A4 size or letter size paper, and then print the whole plan in these tiles and then put it together. But that's a very inconvenient, and sometimes also the lines don't line up perfectly, so that's very bad. So they're very cheap, so just get them print. So as I said, PDF is the most common format. PDF comes in 2 different ways, or 2 different sub-formats, which is the rasterized format. That's the most common one, because it's already a rasterized image. It's just like a picture, but in a PDF. So you cannot modify anything. All the text is not text, it's just an image, and everything is just there. You cannot modify it. But there is also the vector version, which is the plans, but it has all the vector information in it. Vectors are lines, so it's just like an Autocad format, but in a PDF. But if you import it into Autocad, you can modify it and do whatever you want. You can also edit the text and many other things in the plans, as long as they're not rasterized. So you have those 2 versions, the rasterized format and the vector format. The vector format is always the best, because you can always edit it and modify it and do whatever you want, easier than the rasterized format. But most of the people don't need a vector format, so the rasterized format is the most available one. And because sometimes these plans are from very old and vintage plans, they haven't been drawn in AutoCAD or any CAD software. They have always been rasterized format, so there's nothing to do unless someone else redraw them. I'm going to leave the link of some of the websites in the description below where you can find plans for free. They also have services to buy plans and so on. But you can also buy plans on eBay, Amazon, or many other online stores. So it is a wide range of places where you can find plans. It's just a matter of know where to look. Another way to obtain plans is when you buy kits. These kits include everything you need to build the airplane from scratch. So they also include the plans. This is actually part of a kit of the Riser 100. It's a glider that I'm going to be building soon in this channel. So make sure to be subscribed to this channel so you don't miss it. They include plans, but nowadays it's harder and harder to find kits on the online stores. There are few stores that still sell this kind of kits, and also few companies still produce these RC airplane kits. And yeah, so but basically this is the way they should be. They include plans, include all the materials you need, and you start building from scratch your model. Of course, they include instructions. For example, the Riser 100 include this set of instructions and step by step how you should do everything, and with the help of plans also. So that's the other way, but that's more unlikely. So the other way to find plans is with magazines. Here in Ireland I can find this magazine, which is from Britain, and they include plans in every issue. So they are like this, and I'm going to be showing you how they look like in the next video. But for now I'm going to show you the other way you can get plans, which is making your own plans. So making your own plans is another option, but most people don't do that because they prefer just use the plans that are already available of many different models. And making your own plans is actually not that difficult. You can start making plans with just pen and paper, and just have a little notion on how to build airplanes. Maybe take some reference from other models, taking a look at the other plans and stuff. But yeah, making your own plans shouldn't be that difficult. It just takes a little bit of time, of course, and but it's an option. Also, you can use a CAD software, which is the most common way to do things, because nowadays computers are everywhere, even in your pocket. So using a CAD software is the best way to go, because your drawing can be printed many times, and you can have perfect dimensions, perfect drawing, without the hassle of needing to draw them yourself and all of the implications of manual labor. So with a software you can draw your plans from scratch, and it's gonna be a lot easier than doing it by hand, although I did that a very long time ago with one of my first, that was my first own designed airplane, and I did the plans by hand because I didn't know how to use Autocad, or I didn't know it really existed. So I was doing the plans by myself with paper and pencil, and yeah, it was okay. It flew at least, but it is not the best way to do it. So here we are on my PC. I'm going to show you the CAD software that I use for drawing plans for RC airplanes and other stuff. Autocad is the number one, is my favorite one. I have the student version. I'm going to show you in a second how you can download it. Then there is Nanocat. They have a free version, which is the one that I have installed, and is also excellent. Because it's free, it's even better, and it has a lot of capabilities. It's very similar to Autocad. And then there is LibreCAD and so many others that are very similar. This is free also. This is open source, and it has some limitations, and I found it really, it's not complete. I mean, I struggle a lot to do simple things, so I don't recommend this one. But there is many other options like this one, but I haven't tested them yet. So I'm going to show you how you can get Autocad. It's very simple, and I'm not going to go in depth. So you just have to go to Autodesk Education Free Software Autocad, or just type in Autocad for students, because if you go to normal Autocad, you will see that the prices are high. This is a normal license for Autocad, which is expensive, but if you're making money out of it, you should buy it. But if you just want to mess around or do simple stuff, just go to free software for students, and all of these softwares are available for students. So you can go to Autocad, and you have to create an account, and there are some simple questions and stuff that you have to do there, and then when you complete your account, you can download, or you can sign in here, and then you will be able to download the AutoCAD version for your computer. It's very straightforward, and then you will have a student license. And then we have Nanocat. Nanocat is also a great option. It is very similar to AutoCAD, but it's not exactly the same. But all the tools and stuff are very similar. So I'm going to import the same thing. And here we have it. I don't know why it's off to a side. So let's move it. So we can use commands just the same way as in AutoCAD, the same names of the commands and stuff like that. And to download Nanocat, you just go to this link. I'm going to provide all the links in the description below, and then you have to click here and download. If you go to the main website of Nanocat, right here on the home page, you will see here products. So they have these other products, but you have to choose Nanocat right there and download. They will also send you a license number to your email. So you use that license number, and then you will be free to use Nanocat forever, I think. And then of course we have LibreCAD, but I don't recommend this one. It's very lightweight and everything, but I find that it needs a lot of other tools and functionalities, or maybe it's because I don't know how to use it yet. But yeah, it's a nice option if you want something completely free. Although Nanocat is completely free, but this one is like open source and all of that. I'm not sure about Nanocat. But yeah, let's not complicate our life. Let's use AutoCAD for now. So I'm going to show you some basics about AutoCAD, and you can apply that to almost any other CAD software. They are very similar. So in AutoCAD, when you open a drawing, you can do many things. In this case, AutoCAD opens, or it's compatible with that DXF file format and that DWG. DWG is the native extension for AutoCAD, and DXF is more standard, so you can open it in many other softwares. But other software will also open DWG, so that depends on the software. The first thing we need to do when you import some drawing in DXF, you have to check the drawing, the scale of the drawing specifically, because if you don't trust the source, or you don't know if the sizes are correct, you need to check that. For example, here we can see that it says 3 by 8 millimeter spruce par. So I'm going to check if that's correct. So I just take the line and draw a line, because it says the length of the line there. So here we can see that it says 1.1. I don't know what units this is using, so let's type in units in the command line. I changed this before to centimeters, but it was unitless before. So when you open a drawing, I'm going to show you how it looks like when you open a drawing. I'm going to drag and drop this on top here. That's a .dxf file, and it opened this plans. And now let's open another one, and here we can see the wings and all of that. So this one is in inches according to these notations, but if we type in units, we will see that it says unitless. So the drawing, the file itself, doesn't have any units in it, so any information about units. So it says that it's in inches. So let's first, before changing that, let's check if these things are in inches. So shear web, so let's measure that. It's 1/16 of an inch, which I think is 1.5 millimeters. So let's check that. So I'm going to take my line tool, and here we can see this says 0.06 And I think is that inches? I'm not sure. Let's go to we can use this calculator. So if we click that, we will have a calculator, and we also have unit conversions and many other things. So I'm going to change this to inches. So here we can put the value to convert. So it's 1/16 of an inch, and it will convert to millimeters. So it's 1.5 millimeters, but 1/16 of an inch, if we use again our calculator, 1/16 is 0.06 inches. And I think that was the unit display. Yeah, it's 0.0625. And yes, that's the correct size. So if we change this to inches in the units, and we change this to inches, we should be all right now. So now, if we want to change it again to millimeters, we should not do that with the units commands, because if we change that to whatever other units, it will be displaying the wrong unit. So it will still be 0.06 or 0.6 inches. So that's why we have another command for that. So what you have to do is type in -Dwg Units. So there we can see that it says first, what's the unit that you're using. So I'm going to choose, here you can see that you have different options. So I'm going to choose millimeters. So I'm going to press 3. I'm going to click or press enter. The next stop is scientific or decimal. I'm going to leave it at 2. So I'm just going to press enter because it's already pre-selected to display precision. I'm going to do 2 because I just need 2. That's decimal precision. And then the rest is going to be as default. So now the size of our drawing has changed. Now if we measure this, let's go to units, and it says millimeters. It's already changed in there. So now let's measure that, and from here to here is 1.59 millimeters. So everything has changed to millimeters now because I like using metric system. So that's the way you can change units in your drawings, or specifically in drawings that are not yours, because when you start a drawing, you should select all of that in the beginning or from the beginning. So let's say that you are going to draw something from scratch. So we type in units, you select the units that you want to work with and all of that, set it up, and you start drawing. So that's the way you set it up. But now let's talk about how to export your drawings. Of course, you can also add annotations, so you can use dimensions and all of these things. You can also do many other things that I'm not going to cover here, because this video is going to be extremely long if I do that, and also because I don't know everything about AutoCAD, but you can find a lot of tutorials online. For now, let's just talk about how to export this as a PDF to order prints. So going down here on the bottom left corner, you can add some layouts, and layouts are just like sheets of paper that you can export later. So this layout, if I open it, it will have the drawing, but I don't use this default viewport or default drawing from my model here. What I do is I right click on that layout, then go to Page, Setup Manager, and then modify it, and then make sure that the size is correct. So that is right now an A4 size, and that's why our drawing wasn't going to be at the correct scale. So I'm going to choose A1 for now. A1, yes, it's just a standard size, 1:1, and landscape. Click OK, and now I'm going to copy and paste my drawing there, and that's the way I do it. I don't know if you have a different way to do this. but that's the way I do it. So I just copy and now I paste it here. I'm going to get rid of this frame. And now we have this ready to export. We know that it is in the correct size of A1. If we want to, you know, rearrange some stuff so it is not near to the edge, so we know that it's going to print, you can do so. So for instance, I'm going to move this around here, somewhere around here. By the way, I do this process because I like to see how it would look like in the paper, how it will look like when I print it. But you can do the export part from here and it will be almost the same. But I'm going to show you what's the difference. It's really subtle, it's not that much. So I'm going to print, and then I'm going to choose here Adobe PDF because I have installed that driver. But I recommend you using Dwg to PDF, or if you have any other PDF, you can also use that. But I'm going to use this one here. And then I'm going to use it says A1 already, so that's fine. Make sure that it says scale 1:1, and then everything else should be already set up for printing correctly because we already did it in the layout. So let's click preview to see how it will look like. That's all right. So I'm going to go and print, or you can also do here, OK. And then it will ask you where to save it. I'm going to save it here. And there we have it. This is the PDF. It opened automatically. And you can print from this right away. And as you can see, it says produced by an Autodesk student version. And that's what I was saying about the student version, but it doesn't matter. So when you do it from the model view, you can do the same, go to print, but here you have to set up the printing the way you want it. So I select that, then I choose A1, one of these. And then remember, this is very important, unselect or uncheck this fit to paper, make sure it says 1:1, and then landscape, and then we have to choose here display, maybe choose window. That's the way I like to do it. I just select a window around the drawing, and then let's preview it, and it's almost the same, you see? Print, and here we have it. This is our PDF. It's ready to print. Everything is in the correct size, it's correct scale, and everything. So that's how you can export a PDF from AutoCAD. The same process applies to Nanocat. It's very similar. And it's not the same in LibreCAD, but just use Nanocat or AutoCAD. Guys, thank you for watching this first part. I'm going to leave all the relevant links in the description below. And I'll see you in the next video where we're going to talk about how to interpret plans.